What if Naruto was a god and neglected starts now. The god sprang out of nothingness. The first and only one in the universe for many, many years. And over the years, civilization did begin, of course only under his command. With immense power and knowledge like no other, he became bored over the years. So he searched for a planet that might give him some thrills. Earth was the one he chose. So he reincarnated himself into Kushina and Minato's child. Coincidentally, this was on the same night as the Nine-Tails attack. In this timeline, Kushina and Minato had triplets. Naruto, well, the god for now, being born as the last one. They were all named one after the other. First was Menma, the oldest brother. Then Mito, the middle child, the sister. And then last one was Naruto, a god reincarnated without his memories. However, because he is born last, Naruto is most likely not the child of prophecy. And the child of prophecy is, much more likely, Menma or Mito. And according to that, more like referencing that, Naruto gets most of the Nine-Tails, since Menma and Mito are supposed to be pure souls, and grow up pure. However, the only reason Minato and Kushina are actually able to seal the Nine-Tails chakra into their children is due to Naruto's aura, which he is completely unaware of and therefore not controlling it. Naruto's aura, or at least the god's aura, is able to give people power and intellect like they've never seen before. They're pretty unaware of it, though it does give a boost of adrenaline too. However, the results fade away slowly. So just after a week, Minato and Kushina are like they've always been before, but now with triplets and alive. So yes, Kushina is going to survive the Nine-Tails attack, and Minato is too. As their children grew older, Minato and Kushina only had eyes for Menma and Mito, for one of them was the supposed child of prophecy, perhaps even both of them. Naruto was completely left out, whilst Menma, the oldest triplet, was celebrated as a hero for not yet having done anything, just because he was the most likely to become the child of prophecy. Though Mito was too, she was celebrated especially amongst the female shinobi, for she also had a good chance at becoming the one and only child of prophecy. And some even thought that both of them would grow up to become the child of prophecy. That both of them would grow up and save the world hand in hand. Though in everybody's opinion, no matter where they came from or what kind of relationship they had to Minato's family, the Hokage's family, or the children of prophecy, they never believed in Naruto. Not even the Ichiraku shop, which is so loved by everyone. And Ichiraku himself is thought to be one of the kindest people in the entire village. Not even he likes Naruto. We find ourselves 5 years later, as we see Menma and Mito discovering a bug from the Aburame clan, which has an almost deadly sting, a torturous one. And because everyone, even the Aburame clan, hates Naruto, they allowed Menma and Mito to test the bug out on Naruto. So they let the bug loose on Naruto's body. And right as the bug started to insert its venom into Naruto's veins, all of them started to become red. Naruto looked like he had a rash all over his body and was gasping for air. The bug, at the same time as inserting its venom, also sucked out the chakra of its victim. Even though Naruto was sleeping, Menma and Mito had just pulled a prank that would last for days. Naruto was in pure agony, sometimes awake, but then immediately knocked out due to the immense pain right after. His body extremely weak, though somehow staying alive. Due to the smell of the venom, the bug, and Naruto's body, Menma and Mito carried him outside and laid him on the streets. Nobody who walked past him wanted to help. None of the Chunin, Jonin, nobody. After about the 5th day, Naruto actually woke up. And this time it's different than before. He can't seem to feel any more pain. He can see that his body's completely torn up. However, he can't feel a thing from the bug. So he pulls himself together and removes the bug from his skin. Because he was so out of chakra and energy, he had to crawl through the streets until he was at his supposed home, where he opened the door, was finally able to stand up again, and all he saw was his family eating dinner like any other day, but without him. This was truly an eye-opening experience for Naruto because he saw how little his family truly cared about him. When asked what they were doing, Minato just made an excuse that it was training for Naruto to get stronger, perhaps to keep up with Menman Mito. But everyone in the room, even Naruto, who was still pretty arrogant, knew that that was a complete and utter lie. He has been left on the streets because everyone hated him. Even his father, his mother, his sister, and his brother. He already did, but from now on, Naruto really has a strong dislike for both of his siblings, and especially his father, who he knew could have done something against them, but decided not to. Kushina is not as hateful towards Naruto, and whilst she won't do anything explicitly nice to him, she won't hit him, verbally abuse him, or anything of the sort. Kushina is the kindest person that Naruto knows. However, she doesn't speak up about anyone else's actions. However, that's enough for Naruto. Even though she doesn't do anything more to stop other people from being hateful and mean towards him, she does not follow that behavior, which is better than he could have hoped for anyone else. Now we see Menman Mito having training with Jiraiya. And Mito will soon have training with Tsunade, however, right now, she's not in the village. However, Minato and Jiraiya are currently working on trying to come up with a plan and convincing Tsunade to come to the village to train the Child of Prophecy, or perhaps the Children of Prophecy. And even if not that, it would still strengthen the village, and perhaps make the people in it more happy, including Tsunade. Naruto is currently walking along the streets, not talking to anyone, not looking at anyone, looking down at the dirt. Thinking about how the dirt even is treated better than Naruto is. Naruto has by far the smallest room in the house, even smaller than average room for normal people. With normal, I mean people who are not the Hokage's children. Monthly allowance? Huh. Not for him. Menma and Mito have, well, turned into dollars, about $100 a month. But Naruto has nothing. And whilst Menma and Mito have friends such as Kiba, Sasuke, Ino, and Sakura, Naruto has no friends. Not even Ichiraku, commonly thought of the nicest person all around. Until one day, when a young Otsutsuki girl, who was sent by her clan to check up on Earth and Kaguya and Ishiki, for they'd taken much longer than they should have, came to planet Earth. And immediately, before even landing on Earth, she sensed Naruto's immense potential. But not any Otsutsuki, only very, very faint Otsutsuki DNA inside most humans. Which is why, because she was already there and had been traveling for a few years now, she was at least gonna stay and talk to Naruto, since Otsutsukis are often attracted to power. However, she was a little different. She was much more emotional than most people in her clan. And even though she was very powerful for her age, even she was surprised at Naruto's incredible potential. She visited the village, in the sense that she just walked into the village as a supposed guest, a traveler. and saw Naruto coincidentally walking on the streets. However, he was looking extremely sad and depressed, which made sense when she got to talk to him. And that was even more reason for her, Shiro, to want to talk and live with Naruto. By the way, that's her name, Shiro Otsutsuki. And Naruto accepted her offer. However, there was just one problem. None of them had money. However, after asking Naruto about how normal people get money here, she had an idea since she was very smart and very powerful, at least in comparison to normal humans. She overheard some ninjas on the streets talking about a really difficult mission, an A rank. Naruto told her that that was the hardest one. And funny enough, they gave enough info out so that people hearing it could complete the mission on their own. She knew where, who, and what. So on that same evening, she did. She completed the mission on her own. Then she went to the Hokage's office, which she had been told is the leader of the Leaf Village, and then dropped the heads of the 3 mercenaries who were terrorizing small villages near the big Leaf Village, and dropped their heads on Minato's desk. Minato was shocked and couldn't get a word out. This little girl, pale white-haired girl, just dropped 3 A-rank ninjas' heads on his table without even being told the mission. So now, an Anbu team had been sent out for absolutely no reason. And it wasn't just any Anbu team, it was a very, very strong one, with Kakashi on it, one of the most powerful Anbus. They bought a small apartment with the money that was given to Shiro for completing the A-rank mission on her own. After that, Naruto told his family that he was moving out. However, they didn't care. They were actually pretty happy that he was gone. They hated him. However, the only one concerned was Kushina. Kushina wanted to know where he was going, how he was going to afford it, and if she could visit him. She truly didn't want him to go. However, she knew that it would be best for both of them. Naruto would not have to endure such torture anymore, and Kushina could, well, she would try to live a normal life, if that was even possible anymore. She knew that she was a terrible mother, and her husband a terrible father. However, there was little she could do. It was too late. Naruto told her that she would soon learn where he was, and could visit him too. However, that in due time. Shiro was permitted to stay in the Leaf Village after having completed an A-rank mission due to her immense strength. From now on, she was getting a steady income from doing missions, helping on missions, and sometimes even doing missions on her own that she wasn't even ordered to do, to get more money, so she would, for example, not have to work for a whole month, just because she worked a little extra. Whilst it was pretty annoying for Minato and the others that she was working with, it was kind of good too. Some of them could take a week off just cause Shiro was working extra hard for a while. And the Leaf Village's reputation also went up. It was good for everybody. After about 3 years, Naruto was now at the age ready to go to the academy. During this time, Shiro had helped Naruto train, however not with any fancy jutsus, mostly just with physical strength, intelligence, and a little bit of chakra control. So just the basics for him to truly have a lot of success later on. For example, Naruto by now had an incredible six-pack and incredible physique, and could tree and water walk with ease. He also learned some battle smarts, and some theoreticals about stuff like kunai and shuriken. Now Naruto was on to start his first day at the academy, towards his first step of becoming a shinobi. He was first in the classroom even before the teacher, and therefore could choose his seat. Since he didn't want to interact with anybody, he sat in the very back and the very far of the right, in the corner that nobody really paid attention to. And he would still be able to look down on the board and see what's going on. It was the perfect spot for him. When everybody came in later, one by one, they all had a little bit of disgust. They had a look of disgust when looking at Naruto, who was already there. Even the teacher did. But first, introductions were in order, and the whole class did. First was Iruka though. Iruka did, and then one-on-one, the students did as well. They introduced themselves. However, Iruka purposely skipped Naruto as the last one, and no one minded. So, with skipping Naruto, because everyone already knew who he was and didn't really care, they continued and started the first day of the academy for real. And that's where I'm going to leave off the video today. Hope you enjoyed. Make sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.